Hey YouTube, it is your girl Shantel, and I came across this video on the Red Pill Awareness Instagram page. Haven't seen it yet, but Red Pill Awareness titled it "The History Where Toxic Masculinity Came From and Who Made It Up." I want to learn about that, so let us go ahead and watch it. If you have not already though, subscribe to the channel if you like the content over here, and then also go ahead and hit the like button. Shout out to Red Pill Awareness. Let's take a listen.
So masculinity is a problem because it is a condition where you will fight back, which is the number one thing that they never wanted. Where there are masculine men, there are safer environments. And what do I mean? This whole toxic masculinity farce that people try to toss out here. The term toxic masculinity came from two Caucasian men. There we go again. Shepard Bliss and Robert J. Stoller. Number two, if that term came out and then it became overshadowing of what masculinity is, it blurs the lines of what masculinity is and what it is not. So now what people perceive as masculinity is putting their hands on a woman. That's masculine. No, that's not what masculinity is. Masculinity would prevent a man from putting his hands on a woman. Masculinity protects the community. Masculinity raises and respects children. Masculinity secures women. Masculinity makes it to where you're not going to step over here and not get checked if you don't operate properly. That's what masculinity is. Toxicity is the opposite of masculinity. You can't even put those together, because the other thing is you knew it was an agenda because you never hear people talk about toxic femininity. But it's always toxic masculinity. Why? Because the agenda is to make the man weak. Because if you have weak men, you have women who are not going to be able to be protected. So if they don't have their security, we'll be able to take control of them. It is the same tactic in a new package in this generation, where they are looking at make sure we are able to destroy them slowly but surely, and make sure they don't have any men to protect them. Even though women can protect themselves, they shouldn't have to.
Y'all, this man preached. Shout out to him. He preached. He gave a whole entire sermon right there. You know what is so funny? As he was talking, I was thinking about certain things, and he said it like seconds after I thought about it. The whole, where is toxic femininity? The whole, what they consider toxic masculinity ain't got nothing to do with masculinity itself. I was literally thinking that right before he said that. What they want to say about a man who can't control his emotion, and a man who is overly aggressive, and a man who beats his kids and beats his wife, that is not masculinity. Masculinity comes with foresight. Masculinity knows how to stay calm in a hostile situation, because masculinity knows that he has to protect, and he knows that if you're going to protect, ain't no way for emotions. But as this man rightly said, they try to merge the two, to blur the lines, so we can shame the actual masculinity, the actual strong men, the actual men who are leaders and who won't tolerate the nonsense that feminism,
feminists, lies,
wants to pour out in the community. It is all an agenda, and I wish we would open our eyes and realize that, but no, instead we want to argue and fight if we're allowed to delete our children. We want to argue and fight if we're allowed to help them to destroy the black community, instead of realizing that they're pitting us against each other. They're pitting women against men, the very men who are supposed to protect us. And they're encouraging women to become single moms so we can raise very feminine men. That is the point. Because toxic masculinity, if we want to give it a title, toxic masculinity is feminine men.
Oh my God!
Men who are overly emotional. Men who do not know how to control their emotions. Whether it be he's too aggressive or he's just too damn... Oh, here bawling over things that you're not supposed to be bawling over about. Sir, are you a woman? Let's call a spade a spade. Because I know some people go and jump and say, oh, well, men are supposed to cry. Men are allowed to cry. Come on now. There are levels to it. There are levels to it. We know that men have emotions. We know that men have tears. Cry if you must. But what are you crying about? That's a different topic for a different day. Yeah, that's a different topic for a different day. Let us get back to this one right here. There is an agenda to destroy the Black community. And unfortunately, as Black women, we're being used. We're being used against our men, because when a man come with his tone, when a man come with his standard, when a man come and say, listen, protect your womb. Listen, have respect. Listen, stop having kids out of wedlock by the dusties. What we gonna do? We gonna shame him. We gonna call him sus. We gonna celebrate when he passes on. Young ladies, black women, I'm encouraging us to just open our eyes and start thinking logically. A lot of us we're just way too emotional. I understand that women are emotional beings. I understand we have our hormones, and once a month we go through whatever we go through. And we have menopause and premenopause and all of the pauses. I understand that. However, when you hear a perspective, instead of getting triggered, instead of bashing, or instead of coming to shame or insult or whatever you do best, just calm down. Just sit down and relax. Because we're talking about a community. Right? The selfishness of thinking that somebody is attacking you personally, like, it is not that deep.
Stop it. Get some help.
And we do not care about you personally that much. We're talking about the community, generations, future, the children. The rates of how it going where women are upset that they cannot delete their children, their baby, instead of learning ways of how to use birth control, how to use contraceptive to prevent pregnancy. We're more upset at the fact that we cannot delete our babies. Don't you think that's a huge agenda right there? When we're being encouraged to do it on our own. As he rightly said, women can do it on our own. We shouldn't have to. Not when God created a man and a woman. Y'all, this video, we talked about the baby deletion. Check it out. Leave your thoughts in the comments. It is your girl Shantel. Big up yourself. I'll see you in the next video.